Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I'm going to be checking out a new song from Dying Wish. It is called Watch My Promise Die. It is the third single taken from their newly announced upcoming album, Symptoms of Survival, which will be out on November 3rd through Sharptone Records. Big shout out to Sharptone for getting this over to me in plenty of time to get a video sorted out. It's very much appreciated. I will link all of the pre-order links, any sort of pre-save, social media, all of the promotional links for the band will be in the description of this video, as well as the video I'll be using in the reaction portion of this. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Mackie. Oh. Oh, pick it up. Maybe? Yeah. The mix is good. You can hear everything, like guitars, that snare. Okay, they're sticking with the singer. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Dying Wish, Watch My Promise Die. Let's discuss. This is a very cool track. The other one that I've heard off of this upcoming record would be Torn From Your Silhouette, and I liked that one, but I really didn't do much revisiting. This, I feel like I will do a bit more. I'm not sure. I'll need to also go back and re-listen to that song, check out the first single, which I don't believe I've heard at this point, which it came out last year. I'm pretty sure the first single that they released that's included on this upcoming track list. But anyway, with this track, there was, it's a 3-minute song, but it feels very full. The mix also is something that feels very full. If you pay attention to like the placement of the guitars, like I was talking about the drums, there's one part where it goes through the toms and it just sounds very full. I'm pretty sure that Randy LaBeouf does their production. I could be wrong on that. If you know and I'm incorrect on that, let me know. It doesn't say in the video, and at the time I'm filming this, the song isn't out yet to check song credits, but I'm pretty sure it's Randy that does it. It just sounds incredible. It has some big, like, not necessarily the riffs that I'm usually attracted to or that stand out the most to me. It's a bit of a different style than a lot of my regular listening, I would say, in a sense that it feels like it meets in the middle between like some of those more fast-paced. I listen to a lot of really technical stuff, which obviously doesn't really apply to this style, but I also listen to a lot of bands like Four in Hands, Distinguisher, who kind of tap into somewhat of this style, but Dying Wish certainly has a blend that feels a bit different to me when it comes to the guitars, but I like this song for a lot of reasons, that being one of them. It just has a very big sound to the song, but also the points in which the song title is dropped, like that first drop, and then when you get to the last one, it's like all of the vocalists together giving you that final drop, so it feels like sonic progression, sort of. It feels like it comes together to that point in the song. The singing I really like because it adds contrast. It's got like that eerie sort of, especially when you consider what's going on in the mood of the song, the atmosphere of the song. They have parts of the, not overwhelmingly so, you know, some of the stuff we cover on the channel is like progressive metalcore and stuff, where the whole goal is to provide like this underlying layer of more atmospheric, sometimes dreamy. It can obviously vary a ton. You can't talk about every song in like one blanket statement, but the approach here is intended to be different. When you listen to the sound of the song, the mood is obviously intended to be different, but the subtleness of it was something that also I really enjoyed, and it's more towards the latter half of the song, but I loved that. So for me, I think this sticks out as one of the songs that I can see myself revisiting the most from Dying Wish. Certainly, looking at the two that I've heard off this album, I keep saying I need to go back, revisit their discography, but I think these are more geared towards my style. I think I'm appreciating them from a production standpoint in a different way, and it might be these elements that they're adding in that makes this record different or something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not very well versed in Dying Wish, though. I've heard they put on a sick show, and I almost got to see them, but we split the night of the Counterparts show into two, and it didn't work out. So I am hoping to see them live. They've got Mackie in the band. I'm pretty sure in the band now. I mean, he's obviously in the music video. He's in the promo pictures and stuff. So Mackie's kind of all over the place as well, working with a ton of different bands. You love to see that. The multiple, also not to jump around, but I'm going to continue to do so. I breezed over the multiple vocalists, but I want to point out that I felt that was a really... It wasn't like a necessary part. It's not that I don't enjoy any of the vocals that are presented in this song, but having the three of them, it adds more layers to the sound that you're getting, and then having them all come together at that point, that was very key. But them having three vocalists work in there without it sounding like, you know, way different, way crazy different, I really like that because it provides variety that's not too, you know, too crazy. Hopefully that makes sense. But I don't want to ramble too much on about a 3 minutes. So I'm making my videos so long. But I took a bit of a break. I wasn't able to make as many videos. So now I feel like I'm just talking and talking when it comes to these outros. But let me get it back together. So it has a big sound. And I really do, I know I keep saying this, so it feels so ridiculous to say again, I really do need to jump back through their discography because I've talked a lot about how my taste has, you know, shifted quite a bit over the last few years. And they had this track, actually, I know I mentioned that the newer songs were probably geared more towards my style, but they had a song called Now You'll Rot, I believe was the song title, but that's one I really liked. I think I listened to that one. It wasn't on stream or anything. I just put it on a playlist one day, and I loved it. Some of what you hear in this newer track, I think, is a parallel with that song on what I really enjoyed. Some of the transitions, like, it's a shorter track in the grand scheme of things. It's a perfectly acceptable length of track, but we've been covering stuff like Tesseract and earlier in the year Periphery, Sleep, where they've got these like really long songs. They're progressive, so they go through all these things. But with this song, some of the transitions are just not standard. They're, you know, the one, I think it's somewhere in the middle of the song where I was like, we're gonna pick it up. It confuses you for a second because you hear that chime and you're like, right? Like it is going to pick up, and then the go into, all right, we are going to pick it up. But having that sort of like question mark transition, I like stuff like that. It's not predictable, unpredictable, I guess I should have said there, but things like that, I feel like Now You'll Rot, I sort of was like mentally noting as I listened through, and that carries over into this track. But overall, the sound I'm enjoying more on these newer songs for whatever reason. I'm not sure what would be the shift or anything, and that again could change going back and re-listening, because we've talked about how I've gotten more into stuff that rides that hardcore line, and I think Dying Wish is kind of one of those like subgenre of a few things, and I wouldn't quite label them hardcore, and I wouldn't quite label them metalcore, and blah blah blah, and people will be like, it's, and everyone gets so up in arms about genres and subgenres when really it doesn't matter. More of the influences that you can hear, or the styles that you can kind of put a label on, as much, it's not really relevant, but I think it is when it comes to liking and disliking certain things. And there are bands that kind of push you out of your comfort zone and make you realize, well, maybe I do enjoy that a little bit more. And I think that's happened for me a lot over the last 2, 3, maybe even 4 years, and I've got more into the style, like the vocal approach here. For a while, I was listening to a lot of stuff that had like very clean vocal approaches. I didn't like much stuff that had any sort of raw sound or distort, and that's completely changed. There's a lot of, and of course there were like one-off bands that I have always listened to that sort of have that sound, but overall it wasn't really something that I was feeling, not really digging. Now I would say it's completely different. I've still got the favorite same band Event Animate, who does things a lot differently than a lot of the stuff that follows them in my favorite band list now. It's spaced out a lot more, so I think that helps. Also, it's not necessarily that the sound of this may be so different. It could be me. So I think going back and revisiting some more will help me provide some insight to that. But I'm going to be checking out these new singles from Dying Wish, if there are any more before the album. The album's not out till November, so there likely will be at least another single. We will check that out. I will do an album video come November when that's out, and sort of see if I can't do some more listening into their discography, so I have that comparison to make next time. But I do feel good about this record. I don't think that there's anything I would want to see different out of a track like this, because it is exploring a little bit and stuff I don't always listen to, and Dying Wish has a bit of a different sound than a lot of what's on my playlist in some aspects. But then there's like, if you look at the Venn diagram, the middle, there is a good chunk of stuff that I really like. The style of production on this really stood out to me, because it doesn't feel so focused on being like raw and that sort of thing. It's got a very full sound, and I'm just very into that. Anyway, I'm kind of talking in circles now, so it's a good time to cut it off. I will do revisiting. I don't think it'll be like my most played song of the month or anything, but it's going to be a track that I see myself putting onto the playlist. I will let y'all know if I do get into the discography on the next video. We'll talk about that, or I could wait till the album. That may make more sense to not make a video about a single super long. So I'll try to do that for the album. I know that's a bit of a wait. Maybe I'll do it on stream or something. We can look back at one of their releases, something like that. So let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. Let me know what you thought of this song, and which of these 3 songs has been your favorite single. I'm leaning towards this one, but I have only, I'm pretty sure, heard 2 of them, and I did not do much revisiting to Torn From Your Silhouette, so that's now going to be something I add to the playlist as well to check out. All that being said, like I mentioned before, the video I used in the reaction portion of this, all of the band's social media, pre-orders, promotional links will be in the description of this video. I will also include my Linktree, which has my Patreon, the Twitch channel, which I am getting started on. I'm having a little bit of a delay. I was planning on doing it this week, but it looks like it may be either this weekend or the following week. At the time this goes up, it should be Wednesday. So I'm leaning more towards the weekend of the week that this gets posted, or the following. But then I'll be getting into a regular schedule where we'll be doing 1 or 2, and they won't be request streams. Those are still on Tuesdays on my YouTube channel. Twitch is going to have a bit of a different focus, revisiting stuff or stuff I've asked questions for and collected a bunch of answers to. We'll be doing some stuff with that. If any of y'all saw my question like a few months ago now on Twitter and Instagram where I asked for certain favorite things. That's going to be all related to Twitch. The Discord channel is also in that link tree. That's where the community is based for my YouTube channel. We have a lot of music lovers in there having music-related conversation completely unrelated to music, just sort of a community of people. So if you're interested in joining, checking that out, that will be there. My Patreon is getting an update. I am offering everything that's listed right now, but I'll be doing a big update to it that I'm in the process of drafting out and will be making public very soon. So if you're interested in checking any of that out, that will be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.